all movies I've ever done, I've kind of felt nervous and excited about doing, and I think that's part of the energy that it takes in order to make a good movie. You have to be slightly scared of the material. You have to be slightly scared of how the scenes are going to play. You have to have that anxiousness in order to be really sharp. I mean, you know, I felt it was a challenge. The setup was a challenge, but I also decided that I wasn't, you know, that I had to focus on making the movie and not be distracted by the sort of scope, because I think once you do that, you just get misguided. Directing a movie is not being impressed about the setup or who you are or the context. It's about making the characters and the storytelling comes alive, and that's it, and that's what I focused on. Halle herself is a very warm, very kind, very like spontaneous, fun. There isn't much heart, and I mean, she's not like a hard person herself. But I thought it was very important for the character that this is a woman who's shut down. This is a woman who her survival is a hardness. I think that's a very female thing. I think if you look at females who've had some sort of pain experience, they tend to be very harsh because they need to survive for their kids. They need to make a shell around themselves so that they can protect their kids. And we do understand that about her. It's not as if she's just generally hard. We do see that she's very protective of her kids. And I really like that. I find that very truthful and also very understandable. Well, I tend to work in a very specific way, which is that I start every morning with the actors and the director of photography, a few key members of the crew, very, very few, and nobody else from the crew. And then we sort of rehearse the scenes, and we do actually alter them quite a lot while working with them. And we change the dialogue, or we take away dialogue, or we do whatever, in order to get it right, in order to get it truthful. Everything that matters is the truthfulness of a scene. And they were both very open for that and very happy to play around with it. It's not improvisations. I think improvisations tends to get boring. It's like at some point actors will always argue in an improvisation because they have to keep up the energy, and that's probably the way to keep up energy. But we do treat the material fairly freely. He's extremely meticulous with everything, Benicio, and he has like, and he knows exactly when he wants to have dirty nails and when he wants to have, and everything like any detail matters, and so there's nothing coincidental about any of those choices, and he just worked very, very conscious. And we had a few like discussions about T-shirts, like various T-shirts or that kind of thing. So, but it was extremely stimulating. He's very, very creative and very. I mean, he had so many suggestions to scenes of changing them, altering them, and I would say 90% of his suggestions were ingenious.